Continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
You're watching the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental Tire. The final ACC Big Ten Challenge could come down to our game tonight as Nebraska hosts Boston College at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Right now, the ACC looking for its first victory in the challenge. In 5 years, has the lead over the Big Ten. As we head into our final games of this year's challenge, it is 6-3. The ACC needs 2 more wins to knock off the Big Ten for the first time since 2017. And welcome to Lincoln. Alongside Mark Adams, I'm David Salzman. How important is this game, not just for these teams, but for both conferences?
You know, David, the more you win in a challenge series like this between the ACC and the Big Ten, that means better seeds in the NCAA tournament and more bids. And how important is it, or more bids to a conference? About $1.7 million per round. That's how important it is. And the more teams you get in, the better chance you have to win the national title.
How important has Derek Walker been for Nebraska? Missed the Cornhuskers' first 5 games, came back for the last 2 contests of the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando, and he shined.
Yeah, Derek Walker, there's his numbers right there. In those last 2 games, he's brought a calm presence to this Fred Hoiberg offense for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He's a guy that can break pressure in the full court situation. He's got some point forward to his game. And there you see the double-double numbers. That's how important he is to the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
BC having to win with defense lately. They come in with a 5-2 record, but they've relied quite a while now on their great point guard, Makai Ashton Langford, and getting good support from Jaden Zachary, the sophomore.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch for Boston College in the backcourt. As you take a look at those 2 guys, and Jaden Zachary is an elite point guard. Earl Grant compares him to Mateen Cleaves, the great strong point guard from Michigan State. He's got to be a more aggressive scorer. For Makai Ashton Langford, he is a warrior, and he's shown up huge for Boston College lately in the second half. These are 2 guards that have to come up big to keep that advantage for the ACC in the ACC Big Ten Challenge tonight on ESPNU.
One reason they have to come up big, depth a concern for Earl Grant's Eagles. 3 players out. Now, he does expect Prince Aligbe to be back perhaps as soon as this weekend. He had the game-winning layup in their season opener in his debut in a BC uniform. Quentin Post, the 7-foot senior, team leader in blocks last season, 9.5 points a game. Donald Hand not expected to be back for some time. BC with the ball first, and we are underway in this final ACC Big Ten Challenge. BC starters also include TJ Bickerstaff, BC's leading rebounder, and important for him tonight to come up big on the glass going up against Derek Walker.
And keep an eye on Mason Matson, number 45. He's a hot and cold shooter. When he's hot, he's really hot. 45 for Boston College tonight.
Ashton Langford for 3, not his strength, hitting under 30% from beyond the arc. And Sam Griesel from here in Lincoln gets the rebound. Griesel played 4 seasons at North Dakota State before making his way to Nebraska. And the alley-oop to Emmanuel Bandamel gets these Husker fans up early.
Yeah, Fred Hoiberg wants to get Emmanuel Bandamel involved early, and he just did. Brought the house down with that slam. Transfer from SMU. Love that kid. Great teammate, number 25 in white tonight for the Huskers.
Here is Mason Matson, just mentioned him, and pulling up for the jumper to put BC on the board.
Yeah, the transfer from Cincinnati, I've watched him throughout his career. And again, he can run hot and cold, but when he's hot, he really helps the team win. He can load it up.
Junior coming in, averaging 7 points a game. Nebraska coming off their best half of the year. Second half in the victory over Florida State on Sunday, giving them a 4-3 mark coming into this game. How about this to get things started? Bandamel with the flush for Nebraska.
The BC defense does a really poor job. They become ball-centric. They don't fight through screens. They do not communicate, and that allows Bandamel. I mean, there's no one close to him to contest that slam. Bandamel plays for the crowd.
BC will play slow today because of those depth issues that we mentioned.
Earl Grant would like to get up and down more, but that's just not the case right now with all those injuries. But opportunity comes wrapped in strange packages sometimes. You know, okay, so you don't have some guys. So what do? You develop depth. And Earl Grant, instead of staying with his up and down style of play, he's changed everything over the last 2 weeks to give his team a better chance to win.
C.J. Pena Jr. getting the start for BC. Wasn't expected to be a key cog in this lineup, but he's averaging 30 minutes a game. First foul called on Derek Walker a moment ago, and he now picks up his second, I believe. Foul is called out high. It is on Walker, and that is just his first. Apologies, not called for the foul earlier. Derek Walker, again, key for Fred Hoiberg's squad. Season debut 5 days ago against Memphis. 15 points, 12 rebounds. Did even better in the win over Florida State on Sunday. Under 10 to shoot for BC. Walker cuts off Matson. Ashton Langford to the rim. Juwan Gary swats it away.
Boy, tremendous reaction on the backside for the Nebraska defense.
Nebraska putting up 75 in their win over Florida State Sunday. Bickerstaff picking up the foul here.
Boy, that's the foul you don't want to pick up. Watch Nebraska, how they react on the backside to the ball. It goes straight up. Really well executed that time by Juwan Gary. Just goes straight up, both hands up, and the denial, the two-hand block for Juwan Gary.
Under 10 to shoot. Riesel doubled. Gary works on Pena. 2 and a foul. Juwan Gary Jr. from Columbia, South Carolina to the line.
Well, he's that glue guy, brings toughness to Fred Hoiberg's team. The key for Juwan Gary to be really good is to keep the game simple. We saw the block shot on the other end, really athletic. This time, not going east and west, going north and south. Sometimes he defends to gets a little bit deflected with his dribble to side, that time in attack mode.
Averaging just over 10 points a game coming in. Scoring depth is much better this season so far for Nebraska than last year, with just 2 players averaged in double figures. Neither of them are here.
Well, this is a better team. Deeper, more talented, and it's more together, too. These guys, there's a certain culture about this team. You don't build programs anymore. You build teams like an NBA team, which falls right into Fred Hoiberg's strengths as a former coach of the Chicago Bulls.
Ashton Langford draws the foul on Vanderbilt. So Ashton Langford looking to get going early offensively. Team leader in scoring, 12.5 points a game, into the line for the first time. Fred Hoiberg, 4th season as Nebraska head coach. Just 10 wins last year, 24 wins his first 3 seasons. Restructured his contract with a reduced buyout to give him the 4th year. But as you said, we talked to him earlier today, he has a lot of confidence with his team, especially now that Derek Walker is back.
You know, this is the first time of all the years I've been doing this, I've never met Fred Hoiberg until today. He has such a calming presence about him. He went through 2 open heart surgeries. At the end of his playing career, he had an aortic aneurysm that they found in a routine physic for an insurance policy. And it saved his life. And he has such a perspective on life and where he's at and what he's doing. I enjoyed every second with Fred Hoiberg today because he does have that calming influence. He has such a mature look about life in general. It's refreshing.
C.J. Wilshire on the drive too long. Yeah, around here, you won't hear a negative word about Fred Hoiberg, not one. Early 5-3 lead for Nebraska, just over 3.5 in.
See the Boston College very deliberate. I'd like to see Jaden Zachary do that. I want to see him be more aggressive offensively. In case you missed it, go back with your next shot. Stay aggressive.
Zachary 16 points in each of his last 2 games. Knocks the ball out of bounds.
Now, Jaden Zachary is one of those guys for Boston College, a huge key for this team because he can get up and down the floor. 94 feet, he's very effective. He's got that Fred VanVleet kind of build about him, that Martin Cleaves build about him. He's got that low center of gravity. I want to see him be more engaged offensively for Boston College.
Awfully good 3-point shooter as well.
Yep.
They clear out for Walker in the paint. In and out. BC scored under 60 in their wins over Wyoming and Rhode Island. They pulled off the Rams late, but their defense was the story.
They just don't have the depth to get up and down. That's why they're playing at such a slow pace.
Under 10 to shoot again. Ashton Langford again. His brother DeMar Langford saves the basketball and gives BC a fresh 20. We thought it'd be a methodical game coming in, and so far that's been the case. DeMar Langford's Eagles down 2 early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. When you get in late to Lincoln from Chestnut Hill, waiting to check into your hotel, how about Prince Aligbe entertaining his teammates, playing the piano in the hotel lobby? He will be a great addition to BC once he's able to come back. He's been out with an injured ankle, but progressing to the point where he was a full participant in shoot-around today. He even warmed up before the game, but not expected to play here tonight. Yeah, we thought it might be a surprise that he may play tonight. And of course, he could play the piano and play this game extremely well. Hit the game winner against Cornell earlier this season. And such a huge factor for this Boston College team right now is working through the injuries, but they're developing depth along the way. Aligbe, 16 points, 9 rebounds in his BC debut in the win over Cornell to begin the season. Well, Duke has won, Purdue has won, and so it is 7-4 ACC. Just one victory by an ACC team in the last 3 games, including this one, will give them their first challenge victory since 2017. Yeah, the Big Ten needs to sweep all of the games on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU tonight in order to get back to even with the ACC. How surprised are you? Because the thought was going into this, the middle of the league maybe would favor the Big Ten, but that has not been the case since Monday. No, it really hasn't been. I saw Miami and Notre Dame this past week, and in Miami, I really like the parts and pieces that Jim Larinaga has put together there. Norchad O'Meara, who went for 17 and 9 tonight. Jordan Miller, who went for a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds. That is a hard team to guard with Isaiah Wong. I really like Miami, and I think Miami's going to be a team that vies for the ACC championship. Jawan Gary for 3. Blaise Keita, the offensive board and putback. 6'11" sophomore from the Republic of Maui puts Nebraska up 4. Yeah, the big fellow there, Blaise Keita, if he just keeps the game simple, I mean, he can step in. He takes charges on the defensive end and is going to do the dirty work, that blue-collar work down on the offensive end, the offensive glass. He brings that work ethic to this Nebraska Cornhusker defensively. Look at him in the middle of the paint. DeMar Langford working on Gary, cut off. And again, the shot clock winding down. There's the charge right there again. Sometimes are you too methodical? Because that shot clock's winding down almost every possession for BC. Yeah, and that's part of the Boston College psyche offensively. They've got to slow the game down. But Blaise Keita first goes and gets the offensive rebound. I mean, you want guys that understand their role coming off the bench. And he goes and gets the second chance opportunity. Then he leads this team in charges. Like I said earlier, he's in perfect position. Zachary picks up his first. Just 3 points for BC in the first 5.5. Carrizo works on Zachary. Keisei Tominaga in the game as well, wearing number 30. Energy giver. Now Nebraska has it under 10 of the shot clock. Gary called for the walk. Boston College, they're going to spread you. They're going to have spacing. But again, that's why you've got to have your guard play for Boston College. You've got to have Jaden Zachary, late game, late situations, late shot clock situations that makes plays. That time, Devin McLaughlin, X-factor guy, really athletic at 6'7", can defend multiple positions, takes the ball right to the rim. Gives BC his first field goal in almost 5 minutes to cut the deficit to 2. Tominaga finds Keita. 2 and a foul. Tominaga coming in, averaging 10 points a game. And what great vision to find Keita down low. Another guy that comes off the bench, Keisei Tominaga, for Fred Hoiberg, knows his role, this time as a distributor. And again, Blaise Keita just goes right up and deposits the ball on the basket. This Nebraska bench over the last minute has been a difference maker. Pena picks up his second and goes to the bench. That's what you mentioned before. You think this is a better team than last season, mainly because of the depth. Now, Keita in the last 2 games just played 2 minutes in each. Coming in averaging just over 4 points a contest, had a double-double against Arkansas Pine Bluff. He has 3 early points off the bench. Nebraska doubling up BC so far.
And David, Nebraska's chemistry is so much better than it was really over the last 3 years. That's not an opinion. That's an absolute fact. I think Emmanuel Bandimel has a lot to do with that. The transfer from SMU is just so selfish.
Chaz Kelly III, freshman from Houston, off the bench, gets his first 2. Griesel drives, draws the foul. But that's on Zachary. That's his second. The second Eagle with 2.
Yeah, Chaz Kelly III, a true point guard, big-time leader. Earl Grant needs him to step up as well. He's going to be a key cog as well, and this is where that depth is being developed. There you see point guard talking to his coach.
We asked Earl Grant, what's a successful season? They're 5-2 so far, and he said, just like last year, I want to win, but not paying as much attention maybe as I will in later seasons. I just want to see progress and growth from my group.
Yeah, he talked about how storms grew in year 2, that you're going to have to fight through things. You got to learn how to believe in each other. And this is a guy that was highly successful at the College of Charleston, worked for some great coaches along the way, including Greg Marshall at Wichita State and at Winthrop. And he has earned his pedigree as a head coach, now a head coach in the ACC, and turning this Boston College program around.
Griesel makes 1 of 2, the 4-point Nebraska lead. Ashton Langford wanted to find McLaughlin and a kick ball. That combination helped BC to come from behind late Sunday in the win over Rhode Island. Connecting twice, McLaughlin 4 late points as BC survived.
Yeah, BC's not going to blow anybody out right. And when they get healthy, I think it's a whole different deal for this team.
Ashton Langford still without a field goal. And Keita, some impact minutes off the bench so far on both ends.
He's been the difference maker so far in this game.
Brought it down to midcourt as well. Beats Wilhelm Breidenbach in for the first time, 6'10" sophomore.
Not sure about Keita's point guard skills, David. Just saying. He didn't turn it over, though.
Yeah, players 6'10" and
Great
6'11" on the floor now as Tominaga, the nice feed inside to him, and he lays it in.
Tremendous cut to the rim by Keisei Tominaga.
5 Huskers have scored. Madsen doubled.
Keisei Tominaga reads this perfectly as he comes up to the point of attack, then just back cuts right there, right to the rim. Soft lefty off the glass. That's just knowing how to play basketball. His father was a professional player in Japan. The kids learn how to play the right way.
After the assist, Breidenbach picks up the foul and then gets his second in about 15 seconds of action.
Yeah, the first foul was because he invaded the cylinder of the offensive player, and then that foul I'm not sure about, because he definitely played defense with his feet. There was some contact, but there was no hand checking or anything like that on that play.
So Breidenbach to the bench. Walker checks in. Keita also on the bench as well. Jamarcus Lawrence guards Kelly. Under 10 to shoot yet again. Ashton Langford from long range, wow. Yes. That's just his 3rd three-pointer of the season. He's 3 of 21. His first field goal tonight.
He never got sped up. He was composed that entire possession. He's got his feet set and knocked it down.
Tominaga got the ball knocked loose. DeMar Langford drives on Walker.
Well, that's the guy you wanted. He's got the hot hand now. Feed Mekhi Ashton Langford.
Kelly from long range. Yes, 2 long threes, and we're tied up. Kelly coming in, averaging 3 a game, has 5 off the bench in the first half.
Well, Grant calls him a leader right there from way downtown. That shot was from Omaha.
Last 6 points to the Eagles. Gary, good feed inside. Bandemill misses the reverse. Walker the follow.
Now, so far, Nebraska, who was woeful rebounding team a year ago, they're +6 rebounds per game. They've shown well on the offensive glass so far.
You mentioned the leadership of Chaz Kelly, and you don't hear that often from a guy who averages 3 points a game, but 5 early points, and delivers the fee that draws the second foul on Derek Walker.
Let's go deep. What do you say, David? Way downtown. Makai Ashton Langford. And Chaz Kelly, the third for 3.
I'm David Salzman. 15-13, Nebraska leads Boston College in the last ever ACC Big Ten Challenge with 10:58 to go in the first.
How about some of my Feast Week winners this week? How about that? First of all, Arizona, Maui Invitational champions, knocked off Cincinnati, San Diego State, and Creighton. Omo was really good. UConn now 8-0, the PK Invitational champions, knocked off Oregon, Alabama, Iowa State. Adama Sinago, really good. The Tennessee Vols at 5-1. They rolled Kansas in the battle for Atlanta's final was 64-50. Josiah Jordan James went off. UMass, got to get a shout out to my man Frank Martin, first year with the UMass Minutemen. They won the Middle Beach Invitational. Noah Fernandez was on fire, shot nearly 50% from 3. And congratulations to those Houston Cougars. Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars are now #1. The first time that Houston's been ranked #1 since 1983. Think Clyde Drexler and company. And the first time that a Native American head coach has ever coached a #1 team in the country. And David, back in 1982, I sat in a bar in Butte, Montana with Kelvin Sampson. And he said to me, "You probably think I'm black, don't you?" I said, "I never really thought about it." He said, "Actually, I'm Native American." He pulled out his Lumbee Native American card of being a member of the tribe. And he told me that night, "Someday, I'm going to be the first Native American coach to win the NCAA championship." He's #1 in the country right now. How about that?
When he got to Houston, he might have gotten 500 fans to a game. And what he's built now, #1 in the nation. They're selling out non-conference contests at the Fertitta Center. An amazing job by Kelvin Sampson and company, undefeated and top-ranked. Devin McLaughlin out of the timeout, drains both free throws. We're tied at 15. Early 6-point lead for Nebraska's been evaporated. The inside presence of the Huskers key so far, all 6 of their field goals in the paint.
Boston College with a little bit of extended pressure just to slow down Nebraska.
Foul on the Vanderbilt drive, and Ashton Langford picks up his first.
But the officials early in this game, more than any other game that I've done so far this year, are really calling any type of contact at all. Whether it be hand pressure or just bodying up to people, they're really working on player movement, freedom of movement in this game. It's the first time I've really seen it called this tight.
Next BC foul puts Nebraska in the bonus. DeMar Langford taps that pass out of bounds, 8 on the shot clock.
Well, so far, Earl Grant has gotten exactly what he wants. A slower pace, knockdown, drag-out, half-court affair.
Under 5 to shoot now. Cada with the ball at the three-point line. Vanderbilt has to hurry for 3. No whistle after the Matson board, and BC can take the lead with a bucket.
I actually wish that would happen more often. When the shot clock's running down, the shot it goes off, but the defensive team gets the rebound, let them run, let them play.
Matson inside to Bickerstaff, finds DeMar Langford, who hangs and scores. First lead for the Eagles.
Excellent spacing offensively by Boston College on that possession. When you space, defenses have a more difficult time of rotating. Well executed by BC.
Tominaga for the lead, yes. 36% from beyond the arc coming in. And 5 points to pace the Huskers so far. Nebraska back up. Matson finds Kelly for the flush. Both teams now getting into an offensive rhythm.
Yeah, Matson with his head up off the dribble. Chaz Kelly, the third off the bench, has been dynamic for Boston College.
7 for Kelly to lead the Eagles. Vanderbilt draws in Ashton Langford. Finds Gary for 3.
Where both teams really getting good shots.
And now BC pushing the basketball. Ashton Langford's pass, Keita intercepts.
I'd like to see Nebraska really push the ball harder in their full court situation. This obviously is a depleted roster as far as injuries go.
How about Tominaga hanging that basketball high off the window, and Nebraska back up one.
Keisei Tominaga just brings energy off the bench. They're energy suckers and energy givers. And right now, that kid's giving energy not only to his team, but to the crowd as well.
He has 7. Matson. Now Ashton Langford for 3. Yes, and back and forth we go. If Ashton Langford can get his 3-point shot going, what an add to this BC offense. 2 of 19 from beyond the arc coming in, but he has 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, he's one of the ACC's top point guards, and returning top scorer with 12 points a game.
Keisei Tominaga is putting on a show here in Lincoln. 7 early points, draws the foul on Mason Matson, and when we come back, 3 free throws to try to give Nebraska the lead.
Vision offensively. Mason Matson, unselfish to Chaz Kelly III. And then Keisei Tominaga continues to attack mode. Lofty, soft, off the glass. Boston College up 2 right now. And you know, whenever we talk about spacing, usually we talk about perimeter spacing, but let's talk about great post spacing as well. As you take a look at Boston College, all the perimeter players up beyond the 3-point line, but look at TJ Bickerstaff and DeMar Langford along the baseline. Both those guys have great spacing, which means the defender has to make a decision. It goes inside to Bickerstaff. Langford just steps to the open area. It's not spacing on the perimeter all the time. It's also spacing and cerebral play by 2 post players for Boston College.
5 assists on BC's 8 field goals so far, and Earl Grant is getting some unexpected offense out of his group. They're 8 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. In the win over Rhode Island Sunday, they won despite 1 of 14 shooting from long range, 30% overall, but that hot offense has kept them in it, especially with Keisei Tominaga doing so well the last few minutes off the bench. 7 points for Tominaga so far today. Represented Japan senior national team in the summer. Played 7 games for them, averaged 16 points a contest. His father played professionally in Japan for a decade.
Yeah, his dad was a great international player, played in the 1988 FIBA World Championship.
And this is the 3rd free throw coming for Tominaga, who drew the foul on Mason Matson on a 3-point attempt before our timeout.
Yeah, the story of this game has been Tominaga coming off the bench. Look, I've seen him do this before. He gives great energy to this Nebraska basketball team. Offensively, he's just constantly in motion. And then Chaz Kelly III on the other end, who has really made a difference for Earl Grant's ball club offensively, has just been attack mode the entire night.
Tominaga now perfect from the line this season, still 11 of 11, and he has paced Nebraska's 15 bench points. How surprised are you that by BC's 13 off the bench?
Very surprised that Chaz Kelly is a guy that, you know, they called him a big-time leader and a true point guard, but tonight on a national stage, he's showing everybody why Earl Grant believes he's going to be one of the next great ones at Boston College.
Keita just picked up his first foul. Got a number of lead changes the last few minutes. Kelly wants another one. Vanderbilt skies for the rebound.
You can see Kelly hunting a shot on that possession.
Tominaga scored the last 8 for Nebraska, 10 of the last 12. He's still on the floor. Griesel handles for the Huskers. Griesel for 3. Key to the offensive board. Tominaga wants 3 more. Yes!
And the pose at the end.
A rising star. Played his first 2 seasons of college basketball at Ranger College in tiny Ranger, Texas. He's in double figures, just got the steal. Now C.J. Wilcher for 3.
Well, you know what I like about Blaise Keita? He doesn't give up on anything. He got the offensive rebound and tipped it back out to Tominaga. And then even on that last shot, he was busting it down the floor to try to get an offensive rebound. He really knows his role. Number 15 in white. There cuts off the dribble penetration.
Pena for three.
Yeah, push it.
Vanderbilt tries to push on Zachary. Lost the ball off his foot. But Zachary's still in the game with 2 fouls, but good defense by the sophomore.
Yeah, this starts with Blaze Cada just going and getting an offensive rebound, double team. Look at Tominaga. He makes himself available. And there's the pose. Wave goodbye. I love the way this kid plays. He just plays with great energy. And the thing about it is, you know he has great passion for the game, and he shows it. That's how you play when you're a guy like that, where you bring energy off the bench.
4 of 4 from the floor, including a couple of threes, and 3 of 3 from the line. A perfect night so far for the junior from Japan. 4-point Nebraska lead as we approach 6 minutes to go in the first half. The ACC needs 1 win to win their first ACC Big Ten Challenge in 5 years. McLaughlin pulls up. Zachary the offensive rebound. Pena wants another 3. Drains this one.
And you saw talk about shot preparation. Pena was really ready to shoot the basketball. That got off quick.
And a walk to get BC a chance to take the lead. Fred Hoiberg's squad coming in 4-3, but the first 5 games were without any returning starters. Derek Walker coming back in game 6. This is game 8 of the young season for the Huskers tonight. Pena from the same spot, trains it again.
Well, really smart by Ashton Langford, finding the open Pena to knock it down. I mean, you go to the guy who's hot. Basic basketball, but you don't see it as much as you should. Good execution by Boston College.
BC coming in averaging 4 3-pointers made a game. They have 5 this half and up 2. Gary gets by Pena. Swat by Ashton Langford. Here comes his brother DeMar.
There it goes, there it goes.
Pena from the other wing. Draws the foul.
Fred Hoiberg wants a flop on the shooter. He believes C.J. Pena just bought that call.
Kelly Pfeiffer calls the foul on Wilcher, and 3 free throws coming.
So aggressive defense on one end, the rotation and the rejection by Mekhi Ashton Langford. There's a lot of reaction in this building about that foul.
Pena now just 4 of 11 from the line this season. We saw the flop call frequently in the first week of the year, and it seems like now officials all across the country are calling it less because it is an automatic Class B technical foul now.
Right. And Nebraska was claiming that he actually kicked his feet out.
C.J. Pena Jr., quite a story. Comes to Chestnut Hill from Trevecca Nazarene, a Division II school in Nashville. But before that, his first 2 years of college ball at NAIA Taylor University. He has paid his dues and now starting for Earl Grant's Eagles has 7 in the first half.
He scored over 1,600 points at the small college levels. Had to adjust the speed at this level, but we're seeing him do that tonight quite well.
And those 7 points the last for BC to put him up 3.
Got a mismatch inside with Gary. You got to throw it up to him.
Wilcher instead for 3. Gary going over Kelly for the rebound, lays it in.
Yeah, the mismatch paid off on the offensive glass as Kelly got pinned down low with Gary. And that's a clear advantage to Nebraska.
Approaching 4 minutes to go first half. Triple on McLaughlin. Nice feed inside. Pena 2 more. The assist to DeMar Langford.
Well, Pena is carving this Nebraska defense outside and inside.
9 points for Pena to match his average coming in. McGlockton and Dawson for the tie. Well off for the freshman.
Let's see if Pena gets another touch. Watch 24 in maroon for Boston College. See if he gets another touch. You keep going to him.
And you score the last 9 for BC.
He's
now
open.
the ball. Drives instead. Feed inside. Layup good, McGlockton. Give Pena the assist, and Fred Hoiberg calls timeout.
Yeah, but Boston College has done an excellent job of recognizing who's hot, who's on a roll, who's playing well. And CJ Pena right now is playing big-time basketball for BC. I mean, this is a guy that played in small college basketball, but he's playing major basketball right now. Goes up inside, and then on the outside, hey, I'm hot, but I'll give it to my teammate. Boston College up 5 here in Lincoln.
BC has erased an early 6-point deficit, and the Eagles lead Nebraska by 5 with 3:11 to go in the first half. 4th annual Big 12 Big East battle comes your way tomorrow night. 2 really good ones, and the first one's a top 7 matchup. Number 7 Creighton from Omaha, just an hour from here in Lincoln. They'll take on number 2 Texas at the new Moody Center in Austin. That's at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Then number 9 Kansas hosts Seton Hall at Allen Fieldhouse. Both games on ESPN and the ESPN app. Creighton's only blemish to Arizona by just 2 in the Maui Invitational Championship game, and Texas 5-0 on the season. They are outscoring opponents by over 30 a game, including whipping Gonzaga 93-74 2 weeks ago. These Nebraska Cornhuskers will head over to Omaha this weekend and take on Creighton. And then how about starting Big Ten play on the road in Bloomington against Indiana, and then home to Purdue. 3 top 10 opponents await for Fred Hoiberg's Huskers after today.
Yeah, it gets real right now for Nebraska. As Creighton and Greg McDermott, he has a juggernaut. And trust me, if you've never been to Omaha for a Creighton Blue Jay game, with those 17,000 crazies there, that's as fun an atmosphere as I've ever been in college basketball.
Emmanuel Vanderbilt flies for the layup, and he adds athleticism to this Nebraska attack. BC has hit 9 of their last 12 shots after starting 3 of 9. Chaz Kelly, 7 points off the bench. DeMar Langford drives, cut off. Shot clock winding down. Ashton Langford. McGlockton goes over Tominaga for the offensive rebound. And then a foul.
Yeah, Tominaga was blocking off effectively. But inside, Boston College is a little bit too athletic. As Devin McGlockton just went right up and got it.
C.J. Wilcher just picked up his second. He hits the bench. Devin McGlockton, 11 points in the win Sunday over Rhode Island, coming in averaging 6 points a game. One of those players, Mark, that's just playing more because of the injuries to others that we've discussed already tonight. He came through 4 big points down the stretch in that win over the Rams Sunday.
You know, he's an interesting player. He played tight end in high school. He was a really good tight end. And so he's kind of an undersized 5-man. He's an athletic 4-man. So he's kind of a combo kind of guy. But he catches everything. Everything you throw to him, he catches it. And that's that tight end background from his high school career.
Next 1 of 2, BC up 4 as we approach 2 minutes to go in the first half. Vanderbilt drives again. Gary for 3. Yes. His first 3 of the night and 8th of the season.
He certainly kept his game simple tonight. And that's the key for Juwan Gary. You mentioned it earlier. He's not trying to do anything extraordinary. He's just doing the ordinary extra well.
8 in the first half for Gary. BC up 1. Under 10 on the shot clock. Ashton Langford drives. DeMar Langford cut off. Griesel tips the pass, and here comes Vanderbilt. To Gary, but a charge. How about Ashton Langford getting back and drawing the offensive foul?
So there's the steal right there as Emmanuel Bandamel comes up with the steal and heads down floor, and the defender just sets him up along the way. That's why you got to go to a 2-foot jump stop. You can't run through the pass. On this defensive possession, watch number 15 in white, Blaze Cada. He does as good a job as I've seen this year of defensive positioning for a big guy. Just watch him throughout this possession. He's rarely, if ever, out of position.
Guards McLaughlin, who throws it away.
You know, on the previous possession, the reason for the turnover was because Blaze Cada was in perfect position, which caused the passer to try to pass around him. That's how they got the steal. And then again, being in position this time, it's the simple things to win basketball games. And right now, Blaze Cada is as good a position defender. He's making a difference in this game.
Huskers can take the lead with the 2. Tominaga wants 2 more. Remains hot. 5 of 5 from the floor now. 15 points in the half.
Feathery touch. Well, if you want to know how to play defense and play help defense, just watch Blaze Cada inside. Constantly talking, communicating, blocking off.
Foul down low off the Matson, miss, and it's on the Eagles. McLaughlin's first.
Blaze Cada, you won't see anything necessarily in the scorebook that says this kid has played really well. But he picks up a guard, he helps out, he moves his feet, he's in position, he helps out again, and then they get the steal. Look how he influenced that entire offensive possession for BC simply because the big guy was in position. It won't show up in the box score, but it shows up in the coach's box as to how you win games.
This is the front end of the 1-and-1, but making an impact in the first half, as you said. He barely played in Nebraska's last 2 games because Derek Walker played so well. But Walker's been on the bench much of this half in foul trouble. Ashton Langford too long. Gary the rebound.
This has been interesting first half, tit for tat all the way through the first half. It's been close the entire way. The ACC Big Ten Challenge alive and well here in Lincoln, Nebraska tonight. Sorry that it's going to be the last season probably.
Tominaga, for all he's done this half, just drew the foul on Ashton Langford, and it'll be free throws. Ashton Langford second as Earl Grant protests.
Keisei Tominaga is just a pest. The game plan for this kid, his energy, his attitude, his motor is going to be wonderful for Nebraska fans to watch, and he'll be the least popular Cornhusker everywhere he goes in the Big Ten.
He's 11 of 11 from the line this season.
And I mean pest in the most positive, enthusiastic way.
Well, you talk about enthusiasms rather. He does play with an enthusiasm that seems to be infectious to his teammates.
Right here. He's just doing it. Goes back in again. They're going to push him again. Finally, the official sees it the second time and calls the foul.
17 points in 13 minutes for the junior from Japan. Shot clock is off. And Earl Grant will take his use it or lose a timeout.
Well, you got Ashton Langford as a guy to look to coming out of this timeout. Nebraska by 3. Come on back with us, gang. 16 seconds to go in the first half. ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Game day will be in Fort Worth on Saturday, and then Conference Championship Saturday begins. Noon Eastern, ABC. Dr. Pepper Big 12 title game between number 10 Kansas State, number 3 TCU. Then it's UCF and Tulane rematching for the American Conference title. And in primetime, 9th-ranked Clemson takes on number 23 North Carolina in the ACC title game, all leading up to the exclusive reveal of the final college football playoff rankings Sunday, noon Eastern on ESPN.
Watch for number 11, Mekhi Ashton Langford. There he is.
Gets by Gary. Touch pass. Kelly needs to hurry and fires. That'll end the first half in Lincoln. For 2 teams that have been more methodical leading up to this game, that was a fun up and down first half. And Keisei Tominaga leading the way for Nebraska. 17 points and a perfect 5 of 5 shooting. Kevin Connors, LaFonso Ellis, Seth Greenberg will be with you when we return. You're watching the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental Tire. Nebraska a 3-point lead over Boston College, 37-34 just before the start of the second half here in Lincoln. And welcome back to the Pinnacle Bank Arena alongside Mark Adams. I'm David Salzman. Nebraska's 3 leading scorers coming in, 3 combined points in the first half. Keisei Tominaga has picked up the slack and then some.
Yeah, for all my Japanese-speaking fans out there, he's been Kanzen. He's been perfect. Keisei Tominaga has absolutely been perfect. 5 for 5 from the floor, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Why? Because he moves so well without the basketball. He reads screens, he reads defenders. Shoulder slant right there, ducks that right shoulder to get to his left hand. Moves without the ball to the open space out of an offensive rebound as he just finds different ways to score because he's constantly moving. He's hard to guard. He's an energy giver. This kid is making a difference offensively and emotionally for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Kanzen in the first half. Perfect.
We've talked about Boston College's offensive struggles coming into today, but 34 first half points, yet they're down. What's the biggest adjustment they need to make in half number 2?
You know, I thought Boston College did a really good job of spacing and recognizing the hot hand, and I think they need to continue to do that going into the second half. CJ Pena was so good, and he now starts the second half. Remember, a small college player has played the Division I level. He looks like a big-time player to me tonight.
They try to get Derek Walker involved early, and he does. The lay-in to give him 4.
And we definitely know what Fred Hoiberg said to open up the half. Get Walker involved. He's our best player. Get him going.
17.5 points, averaging the last 2 games in Orlando for Walker, his first 2 games of the year.
Good ball movement, good spacing again.
Jaden Zachary still scoreless.
Take that shot all day long. Let's see if they go back to Walker again. Look for the big fella, number 13 in white.
Vanderbilt lost it. Zachary takes it away.
Emmanuel Vanderbilt has struggled in this game so far. He's better than what he's shown tonight.
Ashton Langford, long 3. 5-point Nebraska lead. Here comes Walker. Juwan Gary for 3. TJ Bickerstaff also looking to get things going for BC with the rebound.
So Nebraska goes to Walker, first possession, he scores. Doesn't see the ball the next 2 times in the half-court set. He had brought it up the last time.
Mason Matson fires. Pena trying to wrestle the rebound away, but taken away by Wilcher. Pena with the tip, but picks up the foul. That's his 3rd.
That hurts.
Pena 9 points in the first half to lead BC.
I'd go right at him again.
Earl Grant will leave him on the floor early in the second half.
I'd give the ball to Juwan Gary. Go right at him.
Wilcher still scoreless. Here comes Matson. Ashton Langford 7 points in the first half. BC has missed their last 7 shots going back to half number 1. Make it 8.
A tremendous defense by Juwan Gary right in the grill of the shooter, Ashton Langford.
Riesel finds Vanderbilt for 3. Biggest lead for the Huskers at 8.
Let's see if Emmanuel Vanderbilt can get it going now. I watched him at SMU, played for Tim Jankovic down there, and he can get it going, and he can lead a team. They need him to step up right now, which he just did from the 3-point line.
Early timeout call by Earl Grant. Eagles scoreless since halftime. Fred Hoiberg's Huskers up 8, a 12-0 run. Derek Walker getting involved early in the second half. His bucket helping to pace a 12-0 Nebraska run going back to the end of the first half. And the Huskers lead BC by 8. For this summer, Derek Walker organized a Special Olympics basketball clinic with other members of the Husker basketball team. Here's video from that over the summer. Derek told us touching their hearts has been one of his greatest experiences. And even after camp, those who participated reached out on social media to describe the impact he and his teammates made. One of the kids was wearing a necklace. Derek Walker said, "I like that necklace." And so what happened? Months later, the kid reached out to Derek on social media, said, "I made a necklace for you just like the one I have." They met for lunch, exchanged necklaces, and that's part of the impact that Derek and his teammates have had in this community.
Yeah, I talked to Sam Griesel about that event with the Special Olympics, and he just raved about Derek Walker's leadership in that situation. Derek Walker graduated from Nebraska in May of 2021. He's the first member of his family to earn a college degree. Congratulations, Derek Walker, for just doing it the right way.
Shot clock winding down. Ashton Langford draws the foul.
You know, David, in today's social media, there are so many times when I observe in Twitter and things like that, when fans see these guys as avatars, they don't see them as real people. And that's why I appreciate those stories about Darrell Walker Jr. and what he's giving back to the community and how he's investing in other young people and making a difference in their lives. And Sam Griesel was the same way, as he also invested in a young person's life that's had a malady that can't eat orally. And the young man's name is Blake, and Sam has really embraced Blake. They've become best of friends. And recently, Blake was struggling just to walk around. And Sam showed up at Children's Hospital down in Omaha, where Blake was. And all of a sudden, Blake just lit up and wanted to go for a walk with Sam. And it was just so impressive how Sam also, and these young Cornhuskers, invest in their community in that way. I just think it's inspiring what Fred Hoiberg has put together.
They're character guys, and it's one reason why Fred Hoiberg and his staff are high on this team, the chemistry they've been able to build early on. Derek Walker picked up his third foul and heads to the bench. Ashton Langford makes both free throws, and now Sam Griesel throws it away. Deficit is 6 for the Eagles, and they'll have the basketball.
Yeah, this team feels different than the previous teams for Fred Hoiberg here. This team has chemistry. There's a culture. There's a brotherhood. And we saw it in practice, and we heard it in spoken word earlier today.
Different team, too. Slowing the ball down. They were up-tempo up to this season. Foul after the missed shot by Pena, and it'll be on the Huskers. Keita picks up his second.
Well, different conferences have different styles of play, and of course the Big Ten has been so physical for so many years. There's a lot of grinded out games in the Big Ten.
He's played in a number of close games already this season, and another one down 6 early second half. Shot clock under 10. Pena doubled, finds Zachary, who got bumped, a foul. Before the shot, but Wilcher's picked up his third foul. So Wilcher and Walker, team's top 2 leading scorers coming into today, both with 3 fouls early second half. And Fred Hoiberg brings in Keisei Tominaga, the star of the first half, 17 points, a perfect 5 of 5 shooting. Pena tried to drive. I think Tominaga got his hand to the ball first, but Pena saves. Ashton Langford got held up in the air and throws it away into the hands of Gary.
Watch for Tominaga moving out the ball. There he is.
Here he comes. Griesel without a field goal feeds Keita.
Got a mismatch.
Tominaga looks to remain perfect. This first miss.
What a great lift fake.
Foul on Keita. Fred Hoiberg can't believe the call, but Keita now picks up his third. The depth of Fred Hoiberg's team will be tested. 3 of his players with 3 fouls early on in the second half. Huskers up 6.
I can't do this don't give up thing all by myself. This whole fight, this journey thing is not a solo venture. This is something that requires support.
The V Foundation Stuart Scott Cancer Research Fund honors Stuart's legacy by awarding grants to scientists who are addressing racial disparities and cancer outcomes and providing opportunities to researchers from diverse backgrounds. ESPN and the V Foundation are proud to support this fund in Stuart's honor. You can support as well by visiting v.org/Stuart.
Nothing better to contribute to or support. Help us out.
Millions and millions of dollars to benefit cancer research raised by the V Foundation for so long now. I'm happy to be a part of it. V Week and here the ACC Big Ten Challenge Final One. ACC needs one win. They'll have their first challenge victory in 5 years. ACC's representative here, Boston College down 6. Early second half. Ashton Langford falling to the floor, turns it over. Just 2 points for the Eagles since halftime. Bandamel, 7 points so far. 3 Nebraska players in foul trouble on the bench. But 6 Huskers coming in, averaging in double figures. Including Bandamel, under 5 to shoot. Griesel spins to the rim, lays it in, his first field goal.
Yeah, there's Sam Griesel. We've been waiting for him all day long. A big, strong guard that can really make a difference. He's a Big Ten type guard with his size, the transfer from North Dakota State.
Zachary pulls up, in and out. Huskers can go up double figures here.
Good entry feed.
Double on Keita. Bandamel an open 3. Keita.
Wow.
Behind his back, finding Gary for the layup as Keita was falling down.
Blaise Keita is a winner. We're seeing it tonight in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Ashton Langford forces it. Foul on the floor. Bandamel has picked up his 3rd.
Watch Blaise Keita inside. He reads the double team, steps through the double team like a point guard, finds the wide open Bandamel inside, and then competes for the offensive rebound and gives it up over his head for the assist. That is a big time play. We talked about the box score, how it wouldn't show certain things in the first half that he does to help win. Well, those were all on the box score right there. Rebounds, assists, offensive boards.
Blaise Keita, 5.6 rebounds and that tremendous assist. Still on the floor with Walker on the bench in foul trouble. DeMar Langford, charging call. Guess who drew that one? Blaise Keita.
He leads Nebraska in charges taken. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Blaise Keita, and I don't care who knows it. This kid just makes winning plays. He's the kind of guy that turns Nebraska around by making selfless basketball plays on the floor. That's legit big-time defense by Casey.
9-2 Nebraska. 9-2 Nebraska since halftime.
Got too excited. Man, that kid gets me going.
BC comes out in zone. Wilcher for 3. All Nebraska now, up 13.
Energy plays. Turns the tide. And now Nebraska is riding that wave.
BC without a field goal in 10 minutes, going back to the first half. That's a kick. First 20 for the Eagles.
And Nebraska's starting to smell blood right now. Fred Hoiberg's team They have that togetherness. They have that fabric of a team that's interwoven between these players. Impressive so far tonight.
They really struggled in second halves of the season until Sunday when they ran away from Florida State, winning by 17. 12-2 this half so far. Under 10 to shoot. DeMar Langford. BC remains ice cold. Breidenbach, 2 and a foul. They're all getting in on the scoring. Wilhelm Breidenbach, his first 2.
Sam Griesel. Physical guard play. A big guard. Keeps the defender on his hip. Draws another defender and finds Breidenbach inside. Smart basketball by Griesel. That's why they brought him here. That's why he transferred here. A local guy that loves Nebraska basketball. Never understood why football was a big deal.
Cada offensive board off the Breidenbach miss, but then a turnover. DeMar Langford. Eagle cannot buy a bucket. And a foul. Second on McLaughlin. BC is 0 of 9 shooting this half. Is it more BC just being cold? Or, as you've alluded to, Nebraska really stepping up their defensive intensity?
Yeah, the energy level for Nebraska has been off the charts here in the second half. And Boston College has not responded here on the road. And again, this is a team that's missing key parts. I mean, there's a reason why it's difficult for them to play 40 minutes. They run out of gas. They don't have the depth. They're taking second and third team guys and giving them playing minutes because they have to.
Lob from Griesel to Cada, too long, and here comes Kelly. Scoring draw for BC over 5 minutes now. Turnover.
Yeah, if Griesel can learn how to be kind of a lead guard, a big, strong point guard for Nebraska, then he is going to be a weapon. He's still learning right now.
Breidenbach drives inside. Too long. Jas Kelly bringing the ball down, had 7 in the first half.
He's been silent so far in the second half, but he's a guy that is athletic and could give this team a lift. Jaden Zachary going to the rim. Plays Cada again.
That was forced as well. Really seems like BC's out of sorts now.
Yeah, plays Cada, changing the game inside. Wow!
Griesel drives in the reverse. McLaughlin the flush. Finally, the drought ends for the Eagles, but they're down 15.
Devin McLaughlin had enough. A frustration dunk.
Under 10 to shoot for Wilcher. Got bumped in a foul. Amani Mighty, freshman from Toronto, his first. There was a back and forth first half, but Nebraska has dominated since the break.
Yeah, it's been all Nebraska in the second half. Sam Griesel going up dipsy-do off the glass for a deuce. Nebraska strong in the second half.
All Nebraska so far in the second half, a 53-38 lead over Boston College. Friday, our NBA doubleheader on ESPN and the app has LeBron and the Lakers in Milwaukee to start a 6-game road trip against Giannis and the Bucks. 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific with Stephen A's telecast on ESPN2. Then it's off to the Chase Center for Steph and the Warriors, hosting DeMar DeRozan and the Bulls. Our coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 7 on ESPN and the app. Just before our last timeout, the Devin McLaughlin dunk for Boston College ended a field goal drought of over 12 minutes. Eagles had missed 14 straight shots during that drought. Even with Derek Walker on the bench, 15-point Nebraska lead. Walker back on the floor now.
Yeah, Walker back out there. Griesel on the bench. Griesel's been a big contributor in the second half. 4 points, a rebound, 3 assists, 3 steals. He'll sit for a while after that effort.
Quick touch for Walker, who moves in on Mighty and lays it in.
Yeah, this Nebraska team is starting to flex their strength. And Walker's so big, strong inside.
Huskers 8 of 13 from the floor since the break. BC 1 of 11. Under 10 to shoot.
Whoa.
Mar Langford saves the pass. Matson finds Kelly for 3. Not a lot of good looks either this half from BC.
Keisei Tominaga really rotating well that bothered the shot. There's Tominaga from deep. Man, is he feeling it.
He's up to 20. He was the main reason why Nebraska had the lead at the break. And he extends the Husker lead to 20.
He has more fun than any player I've seen this year playing this game.
Zachary looked open for 3.
Boy.
He remains scoreless at 16 points in their last 2 games each. Tominaga wants another one. He can't miss.
Keisei Tominaga is taking a victory lap here in Lincoln. Hits the shot on one end and does a chest bump with the stanchion on the opposite end. Nobody has more fun than Keisei Tominaga of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Ties a career high 23 points. Keisei Tominaga 4 of 5 now from beyond the arc.
He moves so well without the ball. He finds the open spaces. You see the enthusiasm he brings to the bench of this team. And Nebraska knows when he's hot, give it to the dude from Japan. Knocks it down. Boy, is he fun to watch. Just tremendous enthusiasm for the game. Then takes a victory lap on the opposite end. Go ahead, chest bump the stanchion. Just have some fun, they say.
The fun has been infectious. Tominaga has been the main cog for the Cornhuskers today, but you see just how excited his teammates are. Best performance Nebraska has had at home in some time.
His dad played over in Japan professionally, played on some great international teams. I'll tell you what, that's got to be a father with a puffed out chest tonight. Your son is killing it in Lincoln tonight.
It's 37-34 Nebraska at the half. 24-4 since. DeMar Langford. Nice shot off the window.
That's the way you come out of a timeout. Physically tough, DeMar Langford inside. That jack of all trades coming through right there on that possession.
Wiltshire left open for 3.
Wow.
They're all getting in on the yak now. 8th 3 for Nebraska tonight.
Yeah, this is just an old-fashioned take them out to the shed, whipping right here. And Creighton on the horizon for Nebraska. This makes that Creighton game a little more interesting, doesn't it?
Matson for 3.
There you go.
BC had missed their last 9 3-point shots before Matson gets his first 3 of the night. And whistle to wipe some perspiration off the floor. Creighton, the first of 3 top 10 opponents in a row for Nebraska coming up. Indiana and Purdue to begin Big Ten play.
Trace Jackson Davis for Indiana. Indiana right now is up 11 on North Carolina. Purdue, one of my feast week winners. Zach Edey has just been the player of the year, in my opinion. been manhandling people. I mean, look, they beat West Virginia by 12, and you thought that West Virginia wasn't very good. Well, then Purdue goes on and spanks everybody else of a national ranking ilk by like 18 and 19.
Zach Edey at 20 and 10, and both the wins are for Gonzaga and Duke.
Yep.
Derek Walker now with 8.
Yeah, Zach Edey has been just putting up monster numbers, as have Purdue. How about coming off that road trip and going on the road in the ACC Big Ten Challenge as well? That's not easy to do. That was a setup game tonight.
And Purdue got back awfully late Monday morning, really, after the Sunday night win over Duke. Then had to travel to Tallahassee on Tuesday. They were able to survive the Seminoles tonight. All Nebraska over Boston College, 66-43 at the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental Tire. Before Sunday, when Nebraska had a strong second half and were able to knock off Florida State, and of course tonight dominating BC in the second half, 29-9. Second half had been the troublesome spot for Fred Hoiberg's squad. They led St. John's by 7 at the break on the road, got whipped in the second half, 50-23, and lost by 20. Had chances at the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando last week to knock off Oklahoma and Memphis close to the break. Were outscored in the second half. Things have changed since Derek Walker has come back, and as Nebraska has shown tonight, their scoring depth has been huge.
Yeah, Derek Walker is the critical element. Keisei Tominaga has been tremendous here in the second half. But Walker is the guy that makes this team go. You know, I watched him against Florida State the other night after I did the UCF Miami game, which was a heck of a game. And this team looked like they were coming together. As you look at the score right now, the ACC with 7 wins, the Big Ten with 4, and there are 3 games going on right now. It looks like the ACC is going to win this challenge. But Walker is so critical because he can help you in full court pressure. He can score on the block. He's a big, strong body. He can put the ball on the floor. Their offense is different when Walker is on the floor. But let's level set here. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. Ever. Never. They've been to the NCAA tournament under Danny Nee in 1998, then again under Tim Miles in 2014, but again, no wins. I mean, this is a program that hasn't had back-to-back winning conference records since 1998-99 when Danny Nee was the coach and this program was in the Big 12. So there hasn't been a whole lot to crow about here in Lincoln, Nebraska. So that's the level set. But you look at Fred Hoiberg, and the parts and pieces that he's put together with this team. This is his most together team. This is best offensive team. And this is a team that's executing what Fred Hoiberg wants. So right now, success at Nebraska looks like top half of the Big Ten. That's what it looks like.
I was about to ask you, as C.J. Wilcher just hit his 3rd 3 and it's a 28-point game. How possible is top half of the Big Ten if Nebraska can stay healthy? Because Big Ten's an awfully deep league.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I mean, like Maryland, for example, who was picked down the line. I mean, Maryland blew out St. Louis, and they also beat Miami in the Mohegan Sun tournament up in Connecticut. And that's a good basketball team. Ohio State, I think Ohio State is vulnerable. Walker inside. Guess who passed it? Keisei Tominaga. Wow.
73-45.
I think Ohio State might be a little bit vulnerable. I think they're good. I don't think they're great. Michigan State get blown out tonight by Notre Dame. You know, I mean, look, this is a lunch pail league. You got to bring it. So can Nebraska hold serve at home? That's the biggest key in the Big Ten. Can you come in here, play your tail off, win a bunch of games, you know, be over 500 on your home court, or even win 70% of your home court, and then snag a few road games here and there. Go and beat Rutgers, you know, things like that. So is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Well, based upon past history, no. But this team does have parts of it. If Walker stays eligible, they've got a shot.
Blockton lays it in for BC.
Healthy, excuse me.
Top half of the Big Ten would be beyond expectations for this group. Really, all Nebraska wants to see is progress, right? Fred Hoiberg, restructured contract, reduced buyout to give him the 4th year. Just 10 wins last season. Even a 500 record would be progress here. But what's tangible progress in your mind if maybe the top half of the Big Ten doesn't happen here?
Well, having been at Washington State with Kelvin Sampson, okay, and he was in his third year. It was my first year with him. We lost 18 in a row. I thought we were going to get fired. Jim Livengood, the athletic director at that time, he stayed with us. My advice to an athletic director, especially from what I see on this court tonight, is err on the side of patience, not on the side of the press conference where you're going to win the press conference. And I think there are a lot of athletic directors today, not saying that would happen here with Trev Albert, but I see a lot of athletic directors that want to bring in their guy. They want to go ahead and win the press conference. But I think Fred Hoiberg can get it done here in Nebraska, and I think he's getting it done. I think tonight is tangible evidence that this is a much improved basketball team.
You can tell just how much he wants to get it done here. He was born in Lincoln.
Yep.
His grandfather's the former head coach here, Jerry Bush, from 1954 to 1963. And he told us, look, the year one we were rebuilding. And he also mentioned, I don't think people really realize how much COVID had an impact, not just on Nebraska, but all across college basketball. But Nebraska was out for over a month during the COVID season. You really couldn't build then. He admits last year below expectations, just the 10 win. But confident in his group. He relayed that to us earlier today, and it's certainly shown in the second half here.
And how did he win at Iowa State? With transfers. How do you win today in college basketball? With transfer portal guys. You don't build a program anymore. You build teams year by year. It's more like the NBA when he coached with the Bulls. It's the same type of thing where you're building parts and pieces to build your team each individual season.
Keisei Tominaga goes to the bench, and if this is it for him tonight, 23 points off the bench, tying a career high. 17 in the first half, helped Nebraska to a 3-point lead. He and his teammates have been in control here in the second. Approaching 4 minutes to go.
And on the flip side, David, for Boston College, right now Earl Grant's playing with pistols while everybody else has howitzers. I mean, it's just a reality because of the injury situation that this team has seen early in the season. Now, it's going to pay dividends for them as they develop depth, as Pena goes in and finishes right there. He's getting significant time. This is a team that's going to get deeper as they get healthy.
They think if they're healthy, top half of the ACC is possible. But they have to stay healthy, right? Prince Aligbe, though, expected to be back maybe as early as the weekend, coming off an ankle injury. Their 7-footer Quentin Post has been through a foot injury, out for a couple more weeks, we're told. Led the team in blocks last season, 9 points, 5 boards a game.
Yeah, and there are some cracks in the ACC as you see Grease will knock it down. I mean, Syracuse is a huge crack in the ACC. They're just not very good. It's just that simple.
76-53 after the Greasel 3. He and Wilcher getting it going in the second half. Approaching 3 minutes to go.
But that said, the ACC is going to win this challenge against the Big Ten. Kudos.
McLaughlin 2 more. McLaughlin's an example of how BC, if they stay healthy, can be much better than last season. Not expected to score a whole lot coming into the year, having to play more because of the injuries. He's in double figures yet again tonight. Wilcher, another 3, his 4th of the half.
Nebraska's just playing with so much confidence tonight. This is what this team needed. They've been battling. They won a couple in a row, and now they come home, and they are just waxing Boston College tonight.
McLaughlin, 3 more. Sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. Came in averaging 6 points a game, but he's been in double figures 3 straight now. He's up to 16 tonight.
Yeah, 12 points against Wyoming. He's 5th in the ACC in blocks last year.
Wilcher continues his hot second half, 14.
BC just looks tired. They look leg-weary right now.
We have not seen Mekhi Ashton Langford on the floor in quite a while, and he struggled early in the second half. 2 of 11 shooting today. Kelly for 3 connects. Freshman now in double figures.
Now that's been a real bright spot for Earl Grant. Chaz Kelly III offensively has been really dynamic in the first half, and that time knocks down the 3 as well. The thing about it is, like, I was with Mike Bray last week, Notre Dame. They basically have 6 healthy guys. And he's having to practice in a way that he normally would. He's trying to save legs. Earl Grant has the same problem. He's trying to save guys' legs to come out and be able to play in a 40-minute game, Bandamel inside.
Draws the foul, 3-point play opportunity coming up. 6 players for Nebraska coming into tonight. We're averaging in double figures. multiple players in double figures tonight, including Vanderbilt, who gets into double figures with that hoop. Keisei Tominaga, the story, 23 points, and the great assist earlier to Derek Walker. All Huskers at home. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. Whatever Keisei Tominaga chose today was the smart decision. Career high 23 points, 7 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. His teammates Derek Walker, Sam Griesel have gotten it going in the second half as well. Best half Nebraska's played all season.
You know, basketball is a great global game, isn't it? You just saw a great example of that, of how teammates from different parts of the country, different parts of the world can come together for one cause like that. This is why I love this game.
And when you play with a joy like Tominaga has,
yeah,
it's obvious how infectious it is amongst his teammates and how much they love him.
There are energy givers and energy suckers. Keisei Tominaga is an energy giver in every single way.
5 Cornhuskers in double figures, led by Tominaga. They have rolled to the 84-61 lead. 90 seconds to go is the 3-point Nebraska lead at the break. Kelly for 3 off the mark. We talked about Nebraska's schedule coming up. Creighton, Purdue, Indiana. Duke is coming up for BC to begin ACC play, and that is this weekend. College hoops from London this weekend. It's the inaugural Basketball Hall of Fame London Showcase. Sunday from O2 Arena. Hunter Dickinson and Michigan take on Oscar Schwiebe at number 19 Kentucky. Our coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 6 o'clock in London on ABC and the ESPN app.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson, one of the great bigs, a double-double guy. Michigan, of course, lost to Virginia last night, the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And a heck of a ball game coming down the stretch. Tony Bennett's bunch, boy, are they nasty, stingy defensively.
Always, but they can score now.
Yep, they can.
I mean, they don't come back from 11 down at Michigan last season, but they did last night.
Yeah, they're averaging 80 points a game, shooting 45 from 3, and defend like Virginia does. Okay, I'm sold.
Well, like Koyanets, freshman from Lithuania, draws the foul. Sam Hoiberg on the floor as well for Nebraska, Fred's son. And Fred Hoiberg told us, with the transfers you mentioned, we wanted to get bigger and stronger. This is a much slower team than in previous seasons, more of that Big Ten style you see with other squads. Sometimes when you see that more slow down game, you see the offense go down. 84 points tonight, now 85 for this group.
It's been very impressive, the unselfish nature of this team. They've shared the ball, they've spread it around. They've gone to the hot hand time and time again. And the depth charge of this team. Keisei Tominaga coming off the bench has just been tremendous tonight, which we talked about. Blaise Keita is doing a tremendous job coming off the bench.
Under a minute left. Nebraska about to go to 5-3. Won't be enough for the Big Ten to win the last ACC Big Ten Challenge, it looks like. Notre Dame a big lead on Michigan State. That would give the ACC its 8th win to give the ACC its first challenge victory in 5 seasons. The ACC Big Ten Challenge began in 1999. ACC won the first 10, but then the tides turned. Big Ten won the challenge for the first time in 2009. They were 8-2-3 coming in the last 13 years, but the ACC is going to take on the final one.
Well, to all the powers that be, whether it be ESPN or Fox or whoever else is involved with all the different conferences around these countries, regardless of what the television affiliation is, these challenge series between conferences are good for basketball, and I hope they continue in a big way, regardless of affiliation.
ACC SEC Challenge already announced. That will start next year on the ESPN family of networks. And then Dawson for three, gets in on the scoring act. 2 straight big wins for Nebraska against ACC foes. I know Florida State's really struggling, but again, they were dominant in the second half Sunday in Orlando. Dominant in the second half here tonight against the Eagles.
But David, when you're Nebraska, a win is a win is a win, especially when it's against ACC opponents, regardless of what that program situation might be.
10 wins all of last season for Fred Hoiberg's squad. He's at 5, and we're not even in December yet. Good start for Fred Hoiberg and company. If they can stay healthy, maybe they'll make as much waves in the Big Ten as they have in some time. Keisei Tominaga, 23 points, tying a career high. Derek Walker, Sam Griesel, C.J. Wilcher, all strong second halves to propel the Cornhuskers to an 88-67 win over Boston College tonight. You said anyone is a good one here, especially how things have gone in the recent past, Mark, with Creighton coming up in Omaha on Saturday. Keisei Tominaga and company have to have as much confidence as they've had in some time.
Yeah, this is a big confidence boost for Fred Hoiberg and Nebraska. They came in after winning a couple games. Could they go up against BC and not only win, but win convincingly? And they did exactly that. They did exactly what Fred Hoiberg and his staff wanted to accomplish with a huge win tonight, the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And Keisei Tominaga will be joining us in just a second. He's coming around. Can't wait to talk to this young man.
He helps Nebraska shoot 62% from the floor, 12 of 23 from beyond the arc. Keisei Tominaga tying a career high with 23 points as the Huskers roll to an 88-67 win over Boston College. And we are joined by the junior from Japan now, and Keisei Tominaga. What a game for you. 17 points in the first half, and you didn't miss. How did it feel being out there, being so hot from the floor?
I just make the shoot because the teammate passed to me like very good. Like they passed to me so good, like, you know, every time. I just make the shot, like that's my role. So I'm glad that I could do that today.
Keisei, obviously your dad was a really good player in Japan. We talked about that on our broadcast tonight. But where do you get that infectious enthusiasm from?
I don't know. I just love basketball, and then I just keep practicing. You know, I just love basketball. So.
How did you get here to Nebraska? Your journey from Japan to here, how did that take place?
Oh, I went to JUCO first, and then after that, I came to, they offered me, so I came to here.
It is obvious your teammates love you. They loved seeing your performance tonight. Just describe the chemistry and the camaraderie that all of you have as teammates.
Yeah, I love this team, I love playing with this team so much. So I'm so excited, like, how it's gonna go this season. So yeah.
5-3 now in the season. You have a tough stretch coming up with Creighton, Purdue, and also Indiana. But after last year, only winning 10 games, how much more confidence do you and your team feel as a group?
Oh, we have so much confidence. Like we play together, we trust each other. So I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Well, enjoy this one tonight.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. 23 points for you. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Congratulations. You're my favorite Japanese basketball player. I want you to know that.
Thanks so much.
23 points, tying a career high for Keisei Tominaga. Nebraska rolls to the 88-67 win over Boston College. So the ACC, though, winning this final ACC Big Ten Challenge as Notre Dame has knocked off Michigan State. It gives the ACC its 8th win, and so they will always be the final winners of the ACC Big Ten Challenge as it moves next season to the ACC SEC Challenge. Our final score again, Nebraska 88 and Boston College 67. For my broadcast partner, Mark Adams, I'm David Saltzman saying so long from Lincoln, Nebraska. Coming up, College Football 150, the greatest, presented by Xfinity. Thanks for watching. All Nebraska over BC tonight.
ESPN